why don't we have more blues albums from you? You know, this is where what we're trying to do with this company. So there is so much in India, as I was saying, যে এত রকমের মিউজিক রয়েছে, folk, classical, sub-genres, rock এখন এত ইম্পর্টেন্ট, আমরা রেপ্রেজেন্টেশনটা কিন্তু সেই লেভেলে পাই না। একটা মায়োপিক অ্যাটিটিউড রয়েছে যে চিন্তা ভাবনা is almost like, you know, oh, this is the perception of what sells. It is the perception of what sells, which is not true, because there, I mean, time and again history has shown us that what is perception is not always right. With Eternal Sounds, that's what we're here to do. Amra chaichi eternal is the catch. A legacy, a new legacy. আজকের তারিখের মিউজিক, আজকের যারা কাজ করছেন, আজকের আর্টিস্টরা, in every genre, they need to be heard, and that's what we need to do, and it has to be driven by quality. It should not be driven by the flavor of the season. It has to be quality. So that is the reason we're here, and I'm really, really grateful to these three fantastic gentlemen who in, I mean, I just requested them once, Utsav Bhai, Mayank, and Gaurav Bhai, who we just had a couple of discussions at Utsav Bhai's place, and that was it. They said yes. And Mayank and I have had this discussion for about a good decade, and he had told me that Bikram, 7-8 years and I'll be ready. It's taken almost 10, but he's on the bandwagon now. And Gaurav, of course, is a very close friend, and Gaurav has produced such wonderful films, including Abhijatrik, which won a national award, and he has a great history. His family has that great history of producing cinema and good work, and we bonded over good work. That's why we're close friends. Utsav Bhai has a keen ear for music. He, like me, confesses that he likes the music of the past more, which is also an area which I think Arindam will also agree that we still love to listen to, you know, the greats of when we were kids, you know, be it Lata ji, Asha ji, Kishore da, Ravi Shankar ji, Ali Akbar Khan Sahab. So we are trying to change a lot of things, and I think this change is very necessary. And as I said, I am very, very keen to do an experimental blues album with Didi, which we've been threatening to do for ages, and she keeps telling me, tu to bolte rehta hai, but I think we can do it now. So that's where we are coming from. I'd like to hand over the mic. Can I give it to you?
Yes, sure.
Awesome. Super.
So yes, Utsav Bhai, I would like to know from you, in fact everybody here would like to know from you, that how do you connect to music? Like, what does music mean to you, that you're a part of Eternal Sounds now?
First and foremost, thanks everyone for being here today. It's really very interesting in how this whole journey started. We were sitting one evening, I mean, the concept was there in Bikram Das' mind, but we were sitting, and the whole idea was music. And unfortunately, what is happening today is that we create music which sells. So ultimately, music, instead of it being talent, music, instead of being something that one would be in love with or one would want it, it has become what can sell. And that is where this whole concept started, that let's try and make something. Genres, we can go across genres, we can go across various ways and means, whether it's the blues, as Didi is supposed to come up and do with Bikram, whether it's a rock, whether whatever it is. We want to create music which, in the right spirit, Bikram said, eternal. And we, four of us, Mayank, Gaurang, Bikram and myself, we were sitting, and this whole concept started. And from there, it was 9 months or 1 year, and we were ready with this, with the first album which Bikram has got ready, and he'll speak about it. So that was the whole idea. The whole idea was music, and music which will be eternal, and music which people will love to listen to and kind of connect to.
So definitely, Eternal Sounds is going to raise the bar now.
Yes.
Yes. All right, thank you so much to Mayank. Like, what is that one thing which led you to open this label today? Like 10 years, you kept your promise, and now you're here.
Well, 3 years, 3 years later than what I had expected. Well, I can comfortably say that I'm the youngest on the dais. So I'm still by a mile. And so basically, when I look at my generation and people of my age group and slightly younger, and the kind of music that they are getting exposed to, and I consider myself as lucky to be part of that, of the fag end of that generation, which is still churning out great creativity. I don't want to get into the entire genre business, but when I look at creativity, when it comes to the language of music, or it was the fag end of those great melodies, great lyrics, great sounds, words which were poetry, weaved into beautiful music. And then I've been exposed to a couple of decades where I don't think there have been many songs that I would still listen on repeat. There have been, but if I look at percentile of the songs that I would listen to on repeat now, it's a lot lower than maybe the 80s and the 90s music. And I believe that art and creativity is inherent for our culture. When I say a culture, I don't even only mean Indian culture, but I mean for us as human beings to do something more than running around every day, running for business, materialistic things. There's something which kind of when it means I love even visual arts, and so music was something which I always had a soft corner to, and me and Bikram connected more than a decade back on this actually, and we just hit it off. And I was still in my 20s when we started speaking about it, and now I'm in my early 40s. So we're like, Bikram, we have to do something, and we toyed with many ideas. So we toyed with ideas about children, about schools, about education, and then ultimately when he just said that, look, we just want to create eternal sounds, and we just want to create sounds which last for generations. And we don't want to be under the pressure of commercial success only. So there's a whole thing about, whether it will sell, whether it will recover your money, whether the production cost will be recovered. Rather than that, we just want to create something which people, some of it, if not most of it, people 10, 15, 20 years down the line would love to hear and love to listen to. And as Utsabai was saying, that one evening, as soon as he said this, and all of us were like, yeah, done, let's do it. So I'm happy that I'm a part of this. I think it's the only and the most creative thing I've been involved in. And I'm honestly privileged that I get to be associated with such an amazing label. Thank you.
Mayank is an amazing mind. I have to say this because I've known him for many, many years, and he has an amazing mind, and he's so clued in to so many aspects of life that, and I've seen him grow over the last more than a decade now. And I think there is a more and more there's a spiritual quality, which is amazing, really, which I think is. And if that comes in, maybe he saw it. He saw that he would come to that point at some point, and then music would make sense because spirituality and music, they're all about frequencies and all about Nada Brahma, so vibrations. So thank you, and
Yes, thank
Sarji.
you. Also, before I go to Mr. Gaurang, I believe that now after Eternal Sounds, I believe that we don't have to hear to all the reprise versions of the old songs, and rather we'll have more of originals.
Well spoken, yes.
Because we would love to have originals so that old songs are like nostalgic for us, and people are definitely spoiling those songs these days. So we will, when Usha Di is here, Bikram sir is here, we have more musicians. A little later we're going to announce that who's going to do the first 5 songs, the first album. So I believe that now we'll have originals through Eternal Sounds.
Certainly, only originals.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, Gaurang sir, what is more challenging and what is more special, like winning a national award or inaugurating the music label?
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Firstly, thank you for being here. As I was,
You have to kiss the mic and talk. Yes.
as everybody else was saying, basically, it is a marriage of strengths. We all think alike. We all have certain dreams which we feel we need to fulfill together, and that is why I don't think straight jacketing on a national award with this would make sense. However, I can only say that uh, in our case, we have had the pleasure of working with many known playback singers and music directors, starting from S.D. Burman, Hemant Toda in the past. And it was definitely a pleasure working with Bikram Bhai for Avijatri. I've known him as a senior in my college, but we've bonded first time as as professionals. And all I can say is this team, we will aspire to give you good music. It's about creating new legacies, and it's about marriage of strengths.
Thank you so much. Okay, to Shadi. First of all, before I ask you a question, you are wearing a beautiful sari. Before you ask me this, I'm telling this to you. All right. So yes, Ushadi, what do you have to say about this, and when are you planning to create the first song with Eternal Sounds?
Yeah, hi everybody. Namaskar, namaskaram, sat sri akal, salam alaikum. Everybody's been talking about generations and ages and all that, and somebody is a classmate, somebody is younger, somebody is older. Let me tell you, I'm the youngest of the whole lot, okay? And
No, and then there's somebody who's ageless also.
well,
You know?
I just celebrated my 75 years birthday, okay, on the 8th of November. If you want to clap, you can clap.
Thank you.
Belated happy birthday.
So really, I think I'm the youngest in this group. And I think I've got the clearest picture. I mean, all of them are so clued up on the new kind of music and the way to go and the way to
Dorothy,
progress
take
forward.
the call. I gave you a call. Sorry.
And the way to progress forward. But let me first tell you, thank you so much to the electronic media and the print media for coming here, because I can assure you that the minute you said, please come for a press conference, we are having a new label, there's
Abar Shay.
as they would say in Malayalam, yet another one. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say that I'm so thrilled to be a part of this, really. A part, shall I say, moral support or support from deep within as far as music is concerned and creativity is concerned. Because we need people like this who are dynamic. And of course, Bikram is, besides the talent, besides being dynamic, the talent that goes along with it. That's so important. And we have, three gentlemen who are really going to drive this. And I think that is what is so important. So important. I mean, you keep saying that, we all want a new, whatever, but genre, and it's not just about sales, and it's not just, but it is. It is. And I'm honest enough to say, unless it's marketed well, unless we have the brains that you three have, and maybe Bikram doesn't. Because we are creative people, we don't know how to go about.
That's what Gordon said when he said what he meant when he said the marriage of strengths.
Absolutely, and very few people really think about it that way. It's not enough for 4 or 5 of us musical people to sit together and notun korbo kichu. Likbo nishchoy korbo. No, we need people to drive it. You, the media, first of all, especially in today's day, because we depend on the media for everything. Without you supporting a cause like this, it's never going to happen for us, yeah? Because you can make us or you can break us, even if we have the best talent in the world. Am I right or am I what?
You are so right.
Yeah.
On this. You are so right.
Yes.
It's the media and the reach that they have,
Absolutely.
which is going to drive this.
Which will drive the whole thing. And let me tell you, it's 53 years since I've been singing. And the songs that we today think, like you said, are all remixed, but retro is where it's at. And there are how many? 8 notes, there's always a combination and permutation. Somewhere something is going to sound similar or not similar. Just like you have books, The authors are writing the same sentences, the same words are being used in different contexts, but nobody says it's fully plagiarized, you know. And I want everybody to feel and know that please do not be udas. Don't think that all the good music came only from the past or all the good lyrics came from the past. No, we have wonderful, wonderful singers, we have great musicians, lyricists and composers of today. As you said, you're of the generation that is of today now. And we need you to drive that. Don't think that only the old songs were good. They were good. But, you know, when Bikram started his speech, this is one thing I want to say. I'm sorry I have to say with so much of passion, because when people ask me, so what's the music scene like in India? I always say, you don't have to say this anywhere else, but in India, yes. Clarify. Is it filmy or non-filmy? It's so sad that everything has to be segregated into filmy and non-filmy. And then if it's non-filmy, then it goes into classical and bhajan and devotional and whatever else. But filmy is on one side. So as long as there are unreal amounts of money that is being pumped into Bollywood and to film music, our different kind of genres are going to have to take a second place. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because for me, it's not a question of numbers. I have never been in the rat race. If I get a Bollywood song from Bollywood, like I've just done Drishyam 2, and I'm so thrilled because of that, I will get about 750 Pada shows. अरे एक hit film में. So I'm not asking for so many. And in those days, people used to shout and say, you know, R.D. Burman is rubbish. Okay, it's Western music, and you know he's done this. And it takes time for something to become a classic. Like today, Ina Mina Dika or Mera Naam Chin Chin Chu in those days was written off, was saying that this is rubbish lyrics, or even Ramba Ho. But Ramba Ho, Hari Om Hari, all have been written by very, very famous lyricists like Anjan Ji, Sameer Ji. I mean, you know, big, big artists who have written those songs. So you've got to give it time for anything to become a classic. And so let this amazing, amazing label start off today in such a way that we give it time. We've got the strength, we need the time and your support and the audience's support for it to become really classic. And classic it will. It must. Because if we all believe in the same way, I mean, we're all on the same page, is that we want different kind of music, we want more music, more talent. And if you just thought before the reality shows ever happened, we as a country of crores and crores of people had 6 singers. 6. Lataji, and they were fantastic. Lataji Mangeshkar, Asha Bhosle, Kishore Kumar, Mohammad Rafi, Mannada, Hemantoda, Mukesh, 7, 8, and there was this big cake that these 7 people were eating from that cake. Today, we have the same cake and there are 1,500 singers to eat from it. I mean, you know, this is our country. We have so much of talent, such a lot of talent. And I'm so glad that they all get a platform to be exposed. And I think this is what we need, people like, besides Bikram and Arundam Singh, myself, Rashid Khan Saab, all the people who believe in good music and creativity. We need the other 3 who have the mind to really, really do this. Yeah. So I think it's very, very important for all of us to really support this cause and not just say that, oh God, it's just another label. It's not. It's a label with a difference, and we just hope that this one really makes it happen. And I'm sure it will. With your support, আপনি যদি থাকবেন আমার সঙ্গে তো আর কি উড়িষ্যা, I didn't say the la. Hello. Say, take some photo. Nobody said today mask bar kar. না আমি বলবো না।
ওইটা লাস্টে বলবেন ওরা ফটো অবসেশন ওটা ঠিক হবে
না
ওটা ছাড়া ওরা যাবেই না আই এম শিওর
না এটাই ভালো you have to be very careful, okay, but really this is something so exciting that one has to really support it, and the way forward is where we're looking at. And I think it's important. As I said, 53 years, you spoke about representation, being so different and so wonky. You know, for so many years, nobody ever believed that a singer like me could exist. Being a nightclub singer for 53 years, I've been around. And it's been only because of all of you. Really, it's been because of you. And without audiences, music, there's no point in any creativity. You know, you can't just sing to, at least I can't. I can't just sing to myself. I need even if it's one person. So even our policies in the government have to change, Bikram. Even our policies in the government and our representation outside. That if it is Indian, if they're having a world music function like Band Aid or Sing for Africa or Sing for Vietnam, they will get people from all over the world singing that one song like We Are the World and just skip over India and go to Malaysia or Singapore or Wala, but definitely not us. And that's so sad. I'm not thinking about myself, but I'm thinking of the sari. I'm thinking any girl, so many singers in India, or that Indian person who doesn't have to necessarily be a classical musician, who could sing with the rest of the world. I mean, COVID has taught us, isn't it? We're all equal. We've all had it, boy. Everybody asked me, did you have it? Yeah, twice. So everybody's had. You had COVID, yeah. We all had COVID. So we all belong to that world, one world. So let's try and do this eternally. What do you say?
Thank you, Didi.
Congratulations to all of you. Really.
Thank you. Love you.
And I really want to definitely all of you to hold him responsible because you made a public statement today that we will make an album together. इसके बाद किसी और के साथ में जाके बनाना हमारा साथ ही करना है
बिल्कुल दीदी
we'll do a really
and we have a blast doing it.
Yes, and we get Arindam to
he'll do the videos for us.
Absolutely brilliant. And we'll make the film. And I don't want to play Usha Uddu. Yeah, I want to play somebody else. I want to be maybe a reporter. I want to be somebody's gun mall Sally. I want to be somebody who's sitting in the nukkad who knows the secrets of everybody, one panwala or something like anything, puchka wali, anything. But yeah, I want this thing to become really eternal.
Thank you.
Gangubai. Oh, Bapre. Gangubai, I should have been much younger for that. But no. Actually, there are no takers, but still.
অরিন্দমের কাছে মাইকটা যাওয়ার আগে আমার হাতে আছে, আমি দেবো। যাওয়ার আগে দুটো কথা বলবো। অরিন্দমের আর আমাদের জার্নিটার মধ্যেও কিন্তু এই কনসেপ্টটা রয়েছে। আজকে 18টা ছবি, টোটাল 17টা প্লাস 1 এখন হতে চলেছে। 18টা ছবিতে আমরা একসঙ্গে কাজ করেছি। ও ডিরেক্ট করেছে, আমি মিউজিক করেছি। 18 films from his first film to his current film. আমরা কিন্তু পুরো সময়টা we have not necessarily gone with the flow. We have done what was necessary for the film and what was our concept of legacy. যে অরিন্দম একটা লেগেসি করতে হবে, হ্যাঁ রে বিক্রম একটা লেগেসি করতে হবে, এমনভাবে কাজ করতে হবে যাতে এটা থেকে যাবে, তো এই গানটা থাকবে, তো হ্যাঁ রে এটা মনে হচ্ছে থাকবে। সো দিস কনভারসেশন we have been having for years and years now. And so many films, and imagine how many songs, multiply that with at least 3.
And imagine not even one chance for me.
That's all because of Arindam Didi. He says he's he's the director, he's got to deal with that, বাট এই জার্নিটা আমাদেরও হয়েছে এবং এতটা কনভিকশন নিয়ে হয়েছে যে আজকে কিন্তু লোকে বলছে হ্যাঁ সত্যি তো দুর্গাশয়ের গানটা, সত্যি তো ব্যোমকেশের গানটা, সত্যি তো সবরের মিউজিক, সেটা কিন্তু এখন বলছে। যখন আমরা করছি সেটা তখন তো আমরা গালাগাল খেয়েছি। যখন শুরু হচ্ছে তখনও ঠিক যেরকম দিদি বললেন যে when you're doing it, then there are people are saying, oh my god, no, please, not this. So the huge hit that the Durga Shoy song is, you remember what that conversation was, that I we were discussing doing a Bangla Gan medley. I said, I don't want to do a Bangla Gan medley. এক্ষুনি কি সুন্দর বললো যে রিমিক্স না তো, I don't want to do remixes, So তখন the producer said, কি করবেন তাহলে বিক্রম দা? আমি ক্লাসিক্যাল আর ফোকের মানে প্লিজ 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 দাদা এটা না খাবে না। So Arindam and I looked at each other. Arindam, in typical style and with his baritone, says, "Na, etai hobe." That became a super duper hit. Classical bandish, then more then jog rager bandish with folk song. It has hit millions of views. So this is the thing, there is a perception that people come on board with, but you have to be given the chance to say that this is potent music. Please give it a chance. It's going to do its own work. Don't dictate that path by something that has already been done. Please.
Thank you, Bikram. And firstly, Eternal Sounds ke amar অন্তরের শুভেচ্ছা। আমি যদি এই কথা বলি, আপনারা কি বিশ্বাস করতে রাজি আছেন যে আজকে এই ছোট্ট ঘরের মধ্যে যা ঘটছে একটা ইতিহাস ঘটতে চলেছে? আপনারা বিশ্বাস করবেন না, আমি জানি, কিন্তু আজ থেকে 5 বছরের মধ্যে আমি আপনাকে কথা দিলাম, 5 বছর অনেক বেশি সময়, আজ থেকে 5 বছরের মধ্যে ইটারনাল সাউন্ডসের নাম সারা ভারতবর্ষে চলে যাবে। এতটা কনভিকশনের সাথে আমি এই কথাটা কি করে বলতে পারি? আমি বলতে পারি কারণ এখানে যে মানুষগুলো বসে আছে তাদেরকে আমি বিশ্বাস করি, ঠিক ততটা তারা যেমন আমাকে বিশ্বাস করে বন্ধু হিসেবে, একজন চলচ্চিত্রকার হিসেবে। আমিও তাদের গুণের জন্য, তারা জীবনে যা অ্যাচিভ করেছে তার জন্য আমি ওদেরকে বিশ্বাস করি। বিক্রম একটু আগে যে কথাটা বলছিল, আমাদের এই যে 17টা ছবি, খেলা যখন রিলিজ হতে চলেছে, খেলা যখন নিয়ে 17টা ছবি এবং মায়াকুমারী জানুয়ারিতে রিলিজ হচ্ছে, 18টা ছবি হবে আমাদের একসাথে। আমরা ইয়ার্কি মেরে বলি স্পিলবার্গ এবং জন উইলিয়ামসের 32টা ছবি আছে, সেই রেকর্ডটা আমরা ভাঙব। আমরা নিজেদেরকে স্পিলবার্গ বা জন উইলিয়ামসের জায়গায় বসাচ্ছি না, কিন্তু একজন চলচ্চিত্রকার এবং একজন মিউজিক ডিরেক্টর হিসেবে আমরা একে অপরকে শ্রদ্ধা করি, ভালোবাসি, বিশ্বাস করি। শুধু বন্ধুত্ব নয়, আমাদের বন্ধুত্ব কলেজ থেকে, কিন্তু তার জোরে আমরা এতটা পথ এগিয়ে আসি। আমি শুধু বলতে চাই যে সেই বিশ্বাসে আজকে একটা কোম্পানি তৈরি হয়েছে, ইটারনাল সাউন্ডস, এবং এই বিশ্বাসটা যেন অটুট থাকে। যে বিশ্বাসে এই কোম্পানিটা তৈরি হয়েছে, যে বিশ্বাস দিয়ে তোমরা কাজগুলো করতে চাইবে, সব কটা, দ্যাট ইজ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট, এবং সেটা হতে চলেছে। আমরা যদি আজকে বলি যে আর একটা কোম্পানি কেন, না, এটা আমি মানতে রাজি নই। যেখানে মিউজিক কোম্পানি, ফিল্ম প্রোডাকশন কোম্পানি আর তৈরি হবে না, সেখানে নয়, কারণ দে হ্যাভ সিন অ্যান্ড আইডেন্টিফাইড যে কিছু একটা ঘটছে ইন দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ড অফ এন্টারটেনমেন্ট। অনেকে যেটা বুঝতে পারছে না, বিক্রম শুধুমাত্র অসাধারণ একজন শিল্পী নয়, বিক্রমের ব্যবসায়িক বুদ্ধি কিন্তু এই 3জন ব্যবসায়িকের থেকে অনেক বেশি আছে। হ্যাঁ, জয়া, টেল মি ইফ আই এম রং। তার কারণ
তাহলে আর বানাতে পারি।
ব্যবসায়িক বুদ্ধি ইন দ্য সেন্স দ্যাট হি সিজ দ্য ফিউচার। আজকে সমস্ত দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ড অফ কন্টেন্ট ক্রিয়েশন ইজ চেঞ্জিং। এন্টারটেইনমেন্টের জায়গায় একটা প্লাবন আসতে চলছে সারা পৃথিবী জুড়ে। সেটা যেমন সিনেমার ক্ষেত্রে, ওটিটি কন্টেন্ট ক্রিয়েশনের ক্ষেত্রে, ঠিক ততটাই মিউজিকের ক্ষেত্রে ঘটছে। ইফ ইউ রাইট দ্য ব্যান্ডওয়াগন নাও, ইউ উইল বি সাকসেসফুল। সেই জায়গা থেকে ইটারনাল সাউন্ডস তৈরি হয়েছে, এমনি তৈরি হয়েছে। আমি সেই জন্যই বললাম যে ওর বুদ্ধির তারিফ করতে হয়। আজ সকালে আমি ফেসবুকে লিখেছি, এটা একমাত্র তুই পারিস। এই তো গেল বিক্রমের জায়গা থেকে। আর এখানে যে 3জন বসে আছে, উৎসব, মায়াঙ্ক এবং গৌরন, 3জনেই আমার খুব ভালো বন্ধু। সেই কারণে নয়, এই মুহূর্তে কলকাতায় এই ব্যবসার দুনিয়াতে ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়ালিস্টের চত্বরে এই তিনজন দে আর দ্য পিলার্স অফ কলকাতা। এদের যে কন্ট্রিবিউশন ইন বিজনেস ইজ ইনক্রেডিবল। ওরা যে জায়গায় এসে পৌঁছেছে সেটাও এমনি এমনি করেনি, ওরাও এই বিশ্বাস দিয়ে অর্জন করে এই জায়গায় এসে পৌঁছেছে। এইরকম তিনজন মাথা যখন একসাথে হয় বিক্রম ঘোষের সাথে এবং এগিয়ে এসে বলে যে আমরা কিছু একটা করব, তখন একটা ধামাকা হতে বাধ্য। একটা সময় আমরা বলতাম যে ক্লাসিক্যাল মিউজিক কিভাবে তার প্রচার হয়েছে। আমরা লেগেসির কথা বলছি, এতবার ধরে লেগেসির কথা বলছি। ক্লাসিক্যাল মিউজিকের প্রচার কিভাবে হয়েছে? রাজারা করেছে, জমিদাররা করেছে। তখন ব্যবসায়িক সম্প্রদায়ের কথা নয়, তখন তারা প্রচার করতেন, তাদের এগিয়ে দিতেন। একটু আগে মায়ান যে কথাটা বললো আমার এত অসাধারণ ভালো লাগলো যে হ্যাঁ, তোমরা একটা ব্যবসায়িক সংগঠন তৈরি করেছো, তোমরা ব্যবসা করতে চলেছো, কিন্তু তোমাদের মূল মন্ত্র হিসেবে তোমরা কিন্তু ধরে নিয়েছো যে আমরা এখানে প্রফিট করার জন্য আসি, আমরা এখানে আগে সৃষ্টি করব। এইটা যদি মাথায় নিয়ে এগোনো যায় তবেই কিন্তু আমরা সফল হতে পারব। আমাদের পশ্চিমবঙ্গের সিনেমার ক্ষেত্রে রোজ একটা করে প্রডিউসার আসে, ব্যাঙের ছাতার মতো গজায়, 6 মাসের মধ্যে তাদের খুঁজে পাওয়া যায় না। কেন? কারণ তারা প্রথম ছবিতেই কোটি টাকা বানাবার স্বপ্ন দেখে, তারপর বানাতে না পেরে হারিয়ে যায়। শিল্পটা ব্যবসার জায়গা নয়। সৌমিত্রদা আমাকে বহু আগে বলেছিলেন, বহুদিন আগে, যে সিনেমাটা এমন একটা জায়গা, এমন একটা শিল্প যেখানে তুমি জীবনের 100% দিয়ে যদি 20% ফেরত পাও তাহলে জানবে অনেক কিছু পেয়েছো। আমরা সবাই যারা শিল্পী, যারা জীবন উৎসর্গ করেছি শুধুমাত্র শিল্পের জন্য, হয়তো অন্য অনেক কিছু করতে পারতাম, হ্যাঁ, আরো অর্থ জন্য, কিন্তু সেটা করিনি। তার কারণ আমাদের প্যাশন ছিল। আমি সিনেমা বানাবো, শাদি গান গাইবে, বিক্রম মিউজিক সৃষ্টি করবে, সবটাই। সেইটা যেখানে প্যাশন থাকে সেইটাকে আগে এগোতে দিতে হয়। অর্থ তার অনেক পরে আসে। সুতরাং তাদের সাথে, অর্থাৎ শিল্পের সাথে যখন ব্যবসায়িক যোগ ঘটে তখন এই কথাটা নিশ্চয় করে মাথায় নিয়ে ওরা এগিয়েছে। এই এতগুলো মানুষ এই মুহূর্তে তাদের নিজেদের ফিল্ডে যে আমাদের বন্ধু রাশিদ এসে গেছে। এসো রাশিদ, এসো।
সৈকত কোথায়?
তো যে কথা বলছিলাম যে ইটারনাল সাউন্ডস কলকাতার মধ্যে আবদ্ধ থাকবে না। আজ একটু পরেই নিশ্চয়ই বিক্রম বলবে, ওরা বলবে এই মুহূর্তে ওরা কোথায় এগিয়ে গেছে, ইটারনাল সাউন্ডস দিয়ে ওরা কি কাজ করছে, এবং অলরেডি সর্বভারতীয় স্তরে কাজ শুরু হয়ে গেছে। সে কথাগুলো বিক্রমরা বলবে। তো সেটাই, ইট শোজ দ্য কোম্পানি।
রাশিদের একটা চেয়ার এখানে দেওয়া যাবে? আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে। না তো বলতে হবে তখন বলতে। আচ্ছা, কলেজ বিশ্বাস
হ্যাঁ, তো সময় এসো, বসো। তুমি না বসলে আমি কথা বলবো না।
হ্যাঁ, বসো।
তো আমি যে কথা বলছিলাম, এরা অলরেডি সর্বস্তর ভারতীয় স্তরে কাজ করতে শুরু করে দিয়েছে, এবং আমি এটাও জানি যে সর্বভারতীয় স্তরেও টিকে থাকবে না। আন্তর্জাতিক স্তরে কাজ করার ইচ্ছে নিয়ে ইটারনাল সাউন্ডস তৈরি হয়েছে। শুধু সেই কারণে এই গোষ্ঠীকে, এই প্রয়াসকে, এই ভালোবাসাকে আর এই বিশ্বাসকে আমার অন্তরের শ্রদ্ধা জানাই।
Thank you so much, Arjun. Beautiful spoken.
Thank you so much, Arindam sir. And now that Rashid sir is also here, could someone please pull the chair here?
Like the chair.